Hello, everybody. My name is Tyler Berry, and I'm a solutions engineer at Sifted. UPS recently announced their demand surcharges for 2025, and today we're going to go through the announcement so you are ready for when these charges begin. I have the announcement pulled up, and we'll take a look at it from top to bottom. Overall, this year's announcement is similar to last year's with some changes to be aware of that we will discuss. Especially for higher volume shippers, there are some new charges and changes in calculations. First, we'll take a look at Section A, which are demand charges for additional handling, large package, and overmax. Then we'll come down here and talk about these charges in Section B. These here in the first table are the ones that all shippers will pay per package based on service level, and these down here are for higher volume shippers. We'll talk about who qualifies and how to calculate these on a weekly basis. But first, let's go back up to Section A, and then we'll work our way down and look at these in detail. These charges will begin on September 28th and increase on the 23rd of November and then return to the starting price of December 28th. These should be very familiar as they match up with and are in addition to year-round charges. They are additional handling, large package, and overmax. The biggest change here is price increases. For example, additional handling for the first time period increased about 6.5%. Well, the December timeframe is up to $10.80 from $9.95 last year, which represents about an 8.5% increase. Large package and overmax follow a similar pattern, so depending on how much you project to ship, you need to take that into account. I will scroll down here and let's take a look at Section B. This is where the calculations get a little more tricky. There are 4 different tables, but the one that most shippers will have to worry about is this first one. This lists the per package demand charges by service level. These kick in on October 26th, then go up the last week in November, similar to the charges we just discussed. The biggest change from last year is increased price. For example, ground residential was 25 cents or 50 cents last year. This year it is 40 cents or 60 cents per package, depending on the time frame. So not a big increase in real terms, but a 15-cent increase from 25 cents is a 60% percentage point increase. The last part we'll look at are these higher volume shipper tables. So we'll scroll down there. These calculate the per package demand charge for enterprise shippers. The qualification for this is if you ship more than 20,000 packages any week since October of last year. So it's an all or nothing qualification. FedEx, you qualify on a week-by-week basis. UPS, you qualify for the charge the entire peak season. One important call out to make is that in the fine print, it says ground residential, ground saver, next day air residential, and all other air residential packages are counted for qualification, so commercial service types are excluded in the count. If you do qualify for this charge, then new this year, all of the per package charges will be from this table. In past years, you'd pay the per package charge we just looked at, plus a charge based on how high over the baseline shipping you were. Now it's all rolled into one charge. It's in lieu of the first one in the first table. If you are a higher volume shipper, you can ignore the first table in this section. Looking at this table, you may notice that there are 2 new lines from these charts that were not there last year. These are for commercial air services. These charges appear new, but last year they would have been paid with the per package charges, similar to the last 2 lines on this first table. As before, UPS will calculate your baseline shipping during the month of June and calculate how far over the baseline you are, and then you get a per package charge in one of these tiers. You can fall into different tiers in different service levels. If you are expediting a lot of packages, you might be over here in like the 300 to 400%, but for ground, you could be at 100% or lower. We were just looking at the first higher volume shipper table, but note that there are 2 others here that list these charges during the time frame. To understand how this will affect you, you will need to check your UPS shipping data. At Sifted, we've created a report that will automatically calculate all this for you based on your 2024 shipping data and 2025 baseline. So I'm going to come over here to the Sifted platform, and I'm going to click Reports, and it's this UPS demand surcharge report. You can see on the first page, it's all aggregated, but then you can click into any of these sections to see the details on these charges. I will click into the residential demand charge, and you can see here there's rolled up totals, there's details on pricing, and then coming down here you can see week by week what your volume is, and then which one of those tiers you would potentially fall into. Going to click back now to the home page and show you what the additional handling one would look like. You can see here that we have the 2024 actuals and then what it would look like in 2025 with the increased price. The best way to prepare for the upcoming peak season is to understand and visualize your shipping data. This report combined with other pages in the Sifted platform will do just that. If you have any questions about these charges or your shipping data, reach out to us at Sifted and we can help. Thank you.